And joining me now via Skype from Calgary is Chad Williamson. Chad, great to see you again. And thanks for a year of outstanding lawyering. You know, our side of the aisle often looks skeptically on lawyers because lawyers are often a tool used by the bad guys. But when we have a lawyer on our side, fighting for freedom, fighting against the bad guys and winning, I find our people are extra affectionate because it's such a rare thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're up against the all-powerful state, and one of the only mechanisms that you have available is the judiciary to combat unconstitutional laws, regulations, and actions of the state. Sometimes lawyers can be your friend, and if you find a reasonably priced lawyer, all the better.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that like so many other institutions and professions, lawyering has become pretty woke. I didn't go to my law school reunion, but I talked to someone who did. He said he could barely talk to half the people there. It really has colonized the profession. And now, obviously, it depends. Like there are different kinds of lawyers in different fields. But I think that law itself has taken on a woke edge to it, and law societies which govern the profession have been at the vanguard of that. Maybe it's different in Calgary. Would you say that the average Calgary lawyer where you're based is like the average Calgarian, or would you say they're more leftist and more progressive than the ordinary person in the city?
I think that the angling towards the wokeism and the leftism in the legal profession in Calgary is sadly similar to the ubiquity and the profession that we see across the country. And I mean, I didn't come face to face necessarily with the wokeism in the legal profession until recently. In a very peculiar circumstance, I actually attended a seminar put on by the Law Society and about how to just manage a really stressful practice. I'm a business owner. I'm a pretty tough guy. I deal with fairly complex and stressful situations every day, but everyone can obviously use real, tangible, practical, tips to better manage, their mental health, their marriage, their family, their work-life balance. So I signed up for this course, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. Maybe they're going to have a psychiatrist on. Maybe they're going to, tell me to do a little yoga or something. That was kind of what I was expecting. And to a degree, I got that. But what was really bizarre is there was a section, I attended the full conference, which I believe was about 2 days, about critical race theory, white supremacy, colonialism. And I kind of, I was flabbergasted that, I mean, the course was called Well-Being in Practice. And the first thing that I thought is, what the heck does this critical race theory stuff have to do with stress in the practice of law? I don't think that, your ethnicity or your skin color or anything like that should even enter into that equation. We're all lawyers. We're all members of the bar. We all get stressed out, and there should be some practical tips for us to be able to continue to do this stressful job. So it was very bizarre. And of course, we've got diversity, equity, and inclusion language now as part of some of the Law Society regulations. So it's a little unnerving.
Yeah. And I think you're from Calgary originally, as am I. Calgary has always been what I consider to be a race-blind city. Anyone who knows the Stampede knows that unlike the Hollywood stereotype of cowboys and Indians, in fact, Indians are cowboys. I mean, the Stampede has had a key element of the Stampede since the beginning has been strong relationships with Indigenous people. I mean, they have the Indian village, and they have the Stampede Queen and the Indian Stampede Queen. And by the way, they use the word Indian. I don't know if they've finally stopped doing that, but this is real. Like Alberta in particular. I remember there was a school near where I grew up called the John Ware School, named after a black cowboy. What's a black cowboy doing in southern Alberta? Well, a lot of people in the States came north. We were the Underground Railroad. And if you're just an American, black, come to Canada and be free. And, I had a rivalry in college with Naheed Nenshi, but he was the first Muslim mayor of a major city in Canada. wasn't in Toronto, wasn't in New York, it was in Calgary. So to try and graft on to Calgary, which I grew up in, when I went to country school out there in Springbank, my sister and I were the only Jews in a school of 400 people. There were 2 black kids, 2 Chinese kids, and 396 white kids. I mean, the idea that, and it was perfect. It was a great place. The idea that Alberta needs to be schooled on racism, that is completely a transplanted project from the States, which has deep race issues, including slavery. I think they're the colonialists, frankly. That's an excerpt from my show every night. It's called the Ezra Levant Show. That's me, Ezra Levant. You can see the whole thing behind our paywall. Well, there's a lot of goodies behind there. I do a show every weeknight. My friends Sheila Gunn Reid and David Menzies and Nat and Kat have their shows too. You get a ton of content for just $8 a month. There's so much in there you won't find anywhere else. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.